let's do it. How you guys doing? We got patch notes analysis. We're here. 5.14. I've missed how many of these? I don't fucking know. I'm gonna lower the music a little bit more. I thought it was gonna be. There we go. That's perfect. So we got Pele here. I think that's how you pronounce it, right? Pele. She is the new volcanic goddess, aka. Hold on. This. She is literally this. Teka was inspired based off of Pele for Moana, and that's literally her. So, if you didn't realize, that's her. Pretty fucking cool. Now, the thing about her in the movie was that some people were actually really mad when this first came out, when they saw promotional art of this, because Pele is supposed to be like a fucking sick-ass goddess, the protector of her people, a really amazing Polynesian goddess that, by the way, she's the first Polynesian goddess, so give it up, people. Yeah, so people are like, holy fuck, you guys are completely misrepresenting the Polynesian whole pantheon here, because she looks like a fucking horrible monster thing. And then it turns out at the end of the movie, I don't know, maybe you should watch it. It's an amazing movie, one of the greatest Disney movies of all time. Definitely watch it. So, Pele is here. She's a goddess of volcanoes. She is an assassin, and she looks fucking awesome. I gotta say, I think this is the best they've done any of their female goddesses. Generally, the fan service levels are through the roof, and they actually managed to, one, cover her boobies. Congratulations. I don't know what her butt and the rest looks like. I'm assuming she's wearing something skimpy, but at least she's, I mean, it's probably not that bad, given it kind of looks, we'll see. But anyway, looks pretty good. And, you know, the costume makes sense given that she's supposed to be from the islands, and it's pretty fucking hot there. So, I'm very happy with the way this looks. I'm very happy that they're actually showing some respect to the goddesses and not just throwing boobies in your face. So, cool. Let's get into it. She's got a passive Everlasting Flame. When Pele drops below 50% health, her flame is set alight, and she gains increased physical power, lifesteal, and ability lifesteal. This passive has a 20-second cooldown. So that's a really weird and interesting passive. Specifically, when she gets below 50%, she's going to get increased phys power, lifesteal, and ability lifesteal. So she'll have, like, the Hades Blight thing going for her, plus power, plus... It's a lot. Like, it's a lot baked into one thing, but it is her passive, so... but yeah, it's going to be 5 plus 2 per level, the power. That's the only one that scales. The rest of it is just flat 40% lifesteal. That's a lot. Like, that is a lot. And the ability lifesteal is even 20%, and, like, that's a lot for abilities, so... I feel like that could be, you know, Hi-Rez has a very, very big tendency to completely fucking overload their new characters with ridiculously OP shit. So we'll see how that lifesteal fares if it gets toned down. But for now, I'm very much willing to bet that she'll be discussing the OP as all the new gods generally are. Alright, so Pyro class is her one. Pele flourishes and fires out a magma orb ahead of her in a line. Once the fiery projectile reaches maximum distance, it hovers for a brief instant, solidifies, and then returns back in pieces, dealing damage to enemies on the way back. The number of shards returning is dependent on the rank of this ability. Okay, so that's pretty interesting and cool. So it's a straight line ability that she shoots out. It'll hover and then return back. And so basically you want to line somebody up and hit both of those. We're going to see. I'm reading this just along with you guys. I figured I wouldn't, like, do it. Yeah, I don't know which is better, honestly, if I read it all first or then, you know, because then I feel like I'm faking my reactions, and that's the whole thing. You know, I don't want to be disingenuous. I'm also somewhat lazy, so we'll see if she has a way to line people up and make sure that she can get the return damage on herself. But it sounds like this will be an amazing clear move because it's going to hit there and on the way back. So big, you know, kind of like an Agni dash in the way that it'll probably be able to be very strong clear move for her. And the amount of shards that return increase with the rank of the ability. So there you go. Alright, so we got Eruption. Yeah, so it's basically Thor Hammer. That's probably a better way to put it than Agni Dash. Yeah, so it's pretty much Thor Hammer. So we got Eruption too. Pele fires, fiercely erupts energy into the ground, exploding an area around her, causing damage and knock-up to all enemies. So she's got a knock-up at ranks 3 and 5. The area expands again. Okay. I was like, what about rank 4? Okay, so at rank 3, it'll expand, and then once again at rank 5, it'll expand again at a delay, dealing less damage and a smaller knock-up. Okay, so she's got a double knock-up on that then. At rank 5, it expands again at a delay. Yeah, it sounds like it. So it'll hit again from ranks 3 to 5, doing a smaller knock-up. That's pretty weird, but yeah. The 2 at max rank apparently covers the entire lane once it gets to this 3 and 5. Okay, interesting. So, nice little knock-up she's got there, and it's going to be, a nice little AoE circle, so people will only get hit by one of them, though. It's just that the outer ones will... so the outer part of it will also be a knock-up, but just smaller. So it's going to have the main knock-up part of it, and then the outer rim will be a smaller knock-up that you can also get hit by if you're in the area. But yeah, you won't get knocked up and then knocked up again. That would be pretty ridiculous. Alright, so her 3 is Magma Rush. Pele starts to churn the land around her, dealing damage to nearby enemies and giving her constant movement speed. Okay, so she doesn't have an escape. It looks like instead she just has a movement speed escape. While this ability is active, toggle this ability again to enter an amplified state, expending more fuel but dealing more damage and providing additional movement speed. This ability has no cooldown, but uses a fuel gauge and cannot be activated when below 10 fuel. So she has a fuel gauge, but that's not baked into her passive, so that's really weird. So the fuel gauge is only based on this one ability, like the fuel isn't her passive. That's weird. It's just straight up like a new thing where they're just like, she's got fuel, like she's an engine, like she's a fucking car, and she can't drive when she's below 10 fuel. Okay, fuel for the fire, yeah. So okay, so she's got fuel, and I don't know how much fuel she goes up to though. Like, it doesn't say how much fuel she starts at. I know that she can't use it when she's below 10, but what is the max fuel that she starts at? I'm not sure. But we'll have to watch the YouTube video for the full thing. Okay, she starts with 100 fuel. So she's at 100, and she'll be able to toggle this to use her movement speed to escape or to chase people down. And you can toggle it again to enter the amplified state, which means that you'll be burning more fuel because you're going on she's literally a car. So you can drive faster, turn up the gas, and drive faster, but you're depleting more fuel by doing that. That's really weird. And she has AoE damage around her while doing this. So that's really, yeah, really interesting. Really unique ability. I really like the way that they've gone about this character. It seems very cool. Now, here's my question. Volcanic lightning? Is that a thing, you guys? Volcanoes and lightning? Volcanoes trigger lightning in some way? Is this a feature that I was unaware of? After a short warm-up, Pele, I do see lightning around volcanoes a lot. So there has to be some connection, right? Even in Moana, you saw it. So there's got to be some connection. But I didn't realize that. After a short warm-up, Pele dashes forward, dealing damage. So this can also be used as an escape, so that's really good. Generally, when somebody doesn't have an actual dash or jump, it needs to be baked into their kit that they have. I keep saying baked into the kit. I don't know why, like they're bread. But anyway, they generally, like a Naja or a... there are better examples that I can't think of right now, but you know what I mean. Generally, they'll give them an ult that can also be used as an escape, like Arachne, so that they can actually escape in really dangerous scenarios without just being, having to run really fast. So after a short warm-up, Pele dashes forward, dealing massive damage, and a slow to the first enemy god hit, and dealing additional damage to enemies behind in a cone for the next 10 seconds or 3 attacks. For the next 10 seconds or 3 attacks, every time Pele hits an enemy with a basic attack, additional damage is dealt behind the enemy as well. That's really interesting. I feel like maybe that's not that practical, though. I don't know how much the zone is behind them, but, like, generally, they're not gonna... you're not gonna have your enemies all stacked up like that much, unless, like... yeah, I mean, in a team fight scenario, obviously this means nothing at all for Duel, because Unless you're hitting the creeps behind them, you're not going to make use of the additional hits behind her. But yeah, I guess if somebody is going to be, like you're going to be Geb ulting and knocking up a couple people at once, and you use this, you can really make use of that. But I feel like maybe that won't have that much of a crazy usage. But that is really interesting. So it's a dash, and it will cling to and slow the first god hit. But it doesn't stop at the first god hit like a Naja ult. It seems like you go forward past them, and just the first god that gets hit gets the massive damage and a slow, and then the rest of them will get hit as well. I'm not positive if that's true, but that's what it sounds like. It doesn't sound like it sticks and stops there. And then you get that passive for 10 seconds or the next 3 basics. And the slow is actually 30%. Oh, it does stop. Okay, I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm new to the patch notes analysis thing. It's been so long. I've missed out on so much. So it does stop at the first. It does stop at the first one hit, like Ratatasker dash. It'll stop at them, or Medusa dash. Her recolor is actually really cool. Generally, they don't go this hard with the recolor, but she has like the watery hair now instead of the flames. It looks so great, the art for it. And apparently the artist that made her is actually leaving and going to Realm Royale, so that fucking sucks, dude. That's rough as hell. Is it actually supposed to be flames, though? No, right? It looks like it's definitely water, so that's mad cool that they did that. If those are supposed to be flames and not water, I suck, but alright. So, new skins. I don't like that Hi-Rez keeps like with this trend of they give somebody a primal skin, and then oh, this guy's got to get a primal skin, and they keep going. Like I don't like that. I'm not a fan, you know. I'm just not a fan. So it looks okay. It looks pretty cool. It's not like I'm not too into the theme in the first place, but it's coolish. It's something. I don't know. He's got better skins, I feel like. Now this Molten Hebo, that is literally this. That is this. So that's Hebo. Pretty fucking cool. I like that. A really good idea to release this alongside this god, who is Taka, or Pele, and that's pretty fucking cool. I like it a lot, so nice. That's going to be a pretty sick skin, and I imagine he's going to be shooting out lava instead of water, which will be really fucking cool to see. So, the Mystic Guardian Athena. Again, that was the artist that made this god that's leaving and going to, you know, Realm Royale. So, Mystic Guardian Athena, we got a Sailor Moon-ass skin here for Athena. It looks really cool. I think they actually did a good job with it as well. And yeah, ooh, I'm an idiot, by the way. The artist that made this skin is going to Realm Royale. I'm pretty sure the artist that made her is not going to Realm Royale. I'm pretty sure I just fucked that up. I'm so sorry. Yeah, almost positive. It's the artist for this that's going. It was a woman that I didn't really know that was an artist for this particular skin, not for her. That's going to Realm Royale. So, good. We're good, people. The Mastery skins for Pele looks pretty cool. I like this. The look looks really nice. We got some new cosmetics. Got a new announcer pack for Primal Storm. They love the Primal stuff. It's not. I don't love it, but sure. Fantasy points, blah blah blah. Ranked Joust is getting a second ban. A second ban during its second phase. So now you have 4 total bans in it. Jungle Practice. They blah blah blah. They decrease the minimum respawn timer from 20 seconds to 10 seconds to make deaths less punishing in the early game or on losing teams for Arena. That's really cool, actually. Cool. Alright. Yeah, because honestly, I always felt like you were dead forever in Arena. Whenever I play Arena, it's like, oh fuck, like I'm gone for good. Like, rip me. And so that's pretty cool. I like that. Because, yeah, Arena always felt pretty snowball-y to me, so that's actually a nice change. Triumphant chests have been relocated to the play screen. Hooray! They prompt for report. Decrease the likelihood of being prompted for reporting due to frequent deaths. Don't know what that means, but Flash Phoenix's bug. These are all just bug fixes. I'm not going to go into these. Hopefully they fix the bug where the ranked wins and losses are not showing your rank at all, the points, so your TP is just not showing, so that's nice. So, yeah, okay. Ethereal Staff. Fixed an issue. This is also a bug fix, actually. Never mind. I got duped. So, apparently, though, they fixed this. Fixed an issue where his ultimate was damaging structures. Everybody was telling me that this was real. They're like, Shadow, Opwash is so good now, dude. His ult hits structures. And I was like, why? That's incredibly strange, but okay, cool. I've just never heard of any ability damaging structures before like that, but that's awesome, man. Good for Opwash. But apparently that was never meant to happen, and it is now no longer going to happen. Rip Opwash's viability. He was very viable for 1 second, dude. He had it. Like, this was it. And now it's gone. So rip. So yeah, there you go. The bear will no longer T-pose. Congratulations, bear. Fixed an issue where takedown debuff would display confusing damage to calculations. Okay. Turnabout can no longer recall to base while inside of a wall. Okay, apparently he was able to do that. So that's nice. Fixed an issue where abilities were highlighting too many enemies. What about the issue where she's literally one-shotting every god? I have multiple videos of this, you guys. I have all the footage compiled. Freya is literally one-shotting people and the wave at level 3. She just goes up, bops you, and you're just dead. And I don't understand it, and I think it needs to be immediately addressed. Alright, Hell, fixed an issue, blah, blah, blah. Fastest got alive, fixed an issue with movement speed from Bubba's mask. Alright, we're done with those. Alright, item balance. The Freya one-shot is intended. They just really like Freya. Alright, so Atlanta's bow has seen a lot of adjustments throughout Season 5. Yes, I'm sure it has. So I'll be honest, my coverage of the item and god balance changes is going to be a little bit weaker because I've been out of it for so long. I'll try my best to try to keep up and get better at this the more I go along with future patch notes for you guys. But yeah, bear with me, and I apologize for my intense ignorance. And hopefully my chat alongside me here will be able to help me a little bit. But they added 10% movement speed to Atlanta's bow. And that's pretty cool. It's still never really used in Duel, so I don't think it really ever will be, because a lot of the time, like, this is like a more of a transition item, and it's not really like a, you know, full build late game item. And in Conquest, that's you know, all well and good and fine, or other game modes in general, that's fine, and you know, you have something going for it. But in Duel, a lot of the time, you're really just going for your end game build and not going to be able to do that as much. So yeah, so Atlanta's bow, I still don't know if it's going to be great, but yeah, they added 10% movement speed to decrease the max stacks to get the passive off of. Now you only need 3 instead of 4, and then they decrease movement speed per stack from 7% to 5% though, to try to keep it in tune with the rest of the shit that they gave it, so that it wouldn't be ridiculous amounts of movement speed. Alright, so yeah, apparently this item has just been in an awkward place forever, and they had to write a paragraph explaining that they're really not sure what the fuck is happening with it, but they're trying, so hopefully we'll see. Gladiator's Shield, though. Season 5 came with a full redesign of starter items, which caused the loss of Death's Toll. Ooh, are they saying this is going to be like Death's Toll? This had a large impact on warriors that relied on basic attacks. It did, it's true. Basic attack warriors dominating Season 4 but have fallen behind in Season 5 were giving these gods access to an effect similar to Death's Toll through Gladiator's Shield, although it can only be accessed a little later in the game. This change to Gladiator's Shield should help bring them back. That doesn't make sense to me, because the whole point of Death's Toll is that it's a starter item. So you're giving them access to Death's Toll later in the game, but it's a starter item, and the whole point of it was that Death's Toll would give you a little bit of healing in the very early game and would scale terribly because it didn't matter later in the game. We'll see. Added components to this item where base attacks heal you for 0.5%. Imagine 0.05. 0.5% of your maximum health and mana on successfully hitting an enemy. Updated description to clarify these heals can trigger multiple times per ability or base attack, scaling on number of targets hit. So it's 0.5%. But yes, that's true. It does give you percentage, so that will scale better than something like Death's Toll did. I still feel like it might not be, but you know what? Gladiator's Shield was already somewhat decent, so they're not nerfing anything else about it. They're only adding this to it, so that's pretty nice. you know, people were already building it, so they're going to give them something. It's still not a great duel item. It's usually used for other game modes. There's just better options than it for duel. You know, duel is such a different game mode than all the others by so many degrees in every direction that it's just, yeah. So we'll see, though. It could be a decent bridge item. Like I said, bridge items generally aren't used that much in duel, but when they are, you know, there are some opportunities, and this could be something. It's 0.5% of your max HP and mana, and so, you know, you get it for hitting an enemy with an ability or an auto attack. So it's pretty cool. We'll see. I would love to see it actually be able to be used by gods like Osiris, Chalk, shit like that. You know, it would be pretty nice. So maybe you can just rush it. It shouldn't. I don't think it's a very expensive item because, like I said, it usually is more of like a bridge item. So you should be able to hopefully get it right off the bat in the early game, and it gives you some protections and shit too. So maybe you can just go boot straight into this and make use of that passive early on. So we'll see. Hopefully. Okay, so Fighter's Mask. These masks are really weird, and you pretty much never want the full mask in duel. They just don't benefit you, really. They're meant for other things with multiplayer intentions. And the only time I've been seeing people building them in duel is if they build a tier 2 of them. I'll admit I haven't really experimented with them much at all. I did build the tier 2 once or twice of the Lono's mask, and it was pretty cool. But yeah, they, for the most part, don't seem to have much of a place in duel for at least the full build part of it, because they generally give you double protections. You know, they give you physical and magical in the first place, which is never really something you want against a single enemy, unless very rarely if you want to counter Shield of Thorns, you know, doing magical damage to you, and you're fighting against a physical god. So yeah. But anyway, updated description text to show classes who can buy the item. This should be in bug fixes, right? I don't know why. I thought they were actually changing things, but no. Okay, they just updated things in the things. Yeah. I was Grandmasters in Conquest one time, yeah. Lono's Mask has been fulfilling its design goal of letting other classes flex into supports. We have seen one specific case that seems to be the clearly powerful choice for this item: healing mages. These mages don't feel the sacrifice in damage as much as other gods because they rely on healing. To even this out across all types of god, Lono's Mask will now cause the wearer to sacrifice healing done as well as damage done. Added a new sacrifice to the passive, minus 20% healing done. Updated the thing. Okay, so yeah, rip the healers that were really abusing this item, I guess. Minus 20% healing done is quite significant. So we'll see if that's actually used much at all anymore for those healers, because that's quite a bit. And of course, once again, not relevant for duel, really. But yeah, minus 20% healing is, yeah, it's definitely something. So Achilles, God Balance, finally we're into it. They gave him a health bonus increase from 35 plus 10 per level to 25 plus 15 per level. So he's going up from the... okay, wait, that's weird. From 35 plus 10 per level to 25 plus 15 per level on his Gift of the Gods. Okay, so he's going up from the base plus 10 to now. Okay, it's a weird one, though. Protections bonus increase from 5 plus 1 per level to 5 plus 1.5 per level, 25 to 35 overall. Okay, so at the max, at the end of this, it's going all the way up to 325 from 235. I guess that's a pretty huge jump. And the protections bonus is going up from 25 to 35, also pretty massive. So we'll see a little bit more Achilles maybe. The god, you know, he has a place. He's not great, but he's got some shit. He could surprise you at times. He's definitely like a little bit slept on as a higher mid-tier god, in my opinion, in duel. All right, so Radiant Glory, physical power and protections now scale from 15% to 10. Oh, okay, so it starts out much lower now than the original 15, and it now goes up to try to scale him better into the late game into 20%. So that's pretty nice for him, honestly. It'll make his early game a little less dominant, though, and generally in duel, the warriors want to have that early physical power protections and try to dominate in the early game. So, because generally warriors are snowball-y type gods by nature in duel, so having him scale better but taking away some of the early game might actually not mesh too well for him. It might end up hurting him, to be honest, in the long run, because he's only getting 5% more in the late, but he's suffering by missing out on the 5% early. In the end, it's not that much of a difference. Anyway, it's 5%, but it's still something, so we'll see. Combat dodge. Cooldown change from 12 seconds to all ranks to 14, scaling down to 10. So once again, they're trying to buff him up in the late game, but not have him be too overpowered in the early game for it. They don't want him just scaling too ridiculously from a great starting point. They want to nerf his early game a little bit while giving the late game more viability. And then the damage reduced from 55 blah 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 to 50 going to 210. So same kind of thing where they nerf the initial damage a little bit, but only by 5 each rank, so it's really not that bad. But I mean, it only... Oh wait, no, this is... Never mind. I thought this was going to scale up better, but it actually just... He's straight up getting a nerf on this, very slightly. But yeah, this cooldown change is nice. I mean, going down to 10 seconds for this ability in the late game, he'll be able to be a lot more, you know, have a lot more movement in general. So this 5 change is, you know, it's nothing. It's 5. Going down literally 5 at the end here from 215 to 210. So what are you going to do? It's weird, honestly. It's weird that they even did that. I've never seen them just change a stat by 5 like that before. But okay. If that 5 matters, I'm gonna eat my words. Watch. I'm gonna live with 5 HP from his ability. I'm gonna be like, suck it. Alright, so Bakasura, they're doing increased camera height from 42 to 64. A true buff for all the little people. The little people of Smite are getting justice, dude. This is crazy. I've never seen anything like it. Continuing a pass on shorter gods to make their camera heights match default gods. This can have a significant impact on visibility and field for these guys. Now when I jump to look over the fucking... Oh, this is beautiful. You know how you can jump to look over the walls in Duel to see if somebody's at the blue buff? Now you can actually see that. They're no longer nerfed by their height. Equality for all. This is amazing. I love it. Oh, sick. Sick. So they're all going up to 64. Vamana, Scylla, and Baka. Good for you guys. I feel like there are other gods, though, that still don't have that, but maybe I'm wrong. I feel like there were some others, but maybe I was only thinking of these guys. I feel like I wasn't, because I definitely don't play them that much, other than I just play some Scylla. I feel like there's still some gods that, because of their height, can't see over that wall, but we'll see. But still, good for these guys. They deserve it. Alright, so Freya, please nerf the shit out of her. Let's see. Decrease magical power scaling from 60% to 50 on Northern Lights. Okay, 10% reduction on that. That's nice. I still don't think it's enough. Aurora Blade. Decrease mana cost per shot from 25 to 40, or 25 to 20. They reduced it overall to 40. So reduce the mana cost. The thing about Freya right now is that her melee autos regen her mana. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but new Freya, her melee regen is disgusting. She does 5 autos and gets almost her entire mana bar back. So I don't know why they would help her out by just... This is just buffing her. This is so dumb. I don't understand it at all. I just don't. So basically they didn't do anything to her. She's just perfectly fine. But you know what? She might not be performing as well in other game modes. I feel like she probably should be. I love Yo, thank you so much. How good, Apollo? How good, Apollo? Very good. Thanks so much, man. Apollo, thank you for the 21 months, dude. But yeah, so they ended up really not doing much to her. She's a must ban in Duel right now. I can't emphasize it enough. I'm going to make a tier list very soon. Okay, so Scotty, they ended up buffing the shit out of Scotty. Decreased time taken to regenerate 1 hit point from 10 seconds to 7 seconds now. So she's going to have Calder up a lot more active with him. And then they decreased the cooldown from 15 to 14. That's only 1 second, but really the Wolf getting 3-second reduction in his regeneration is what's really helpful. So fuck, because, you know, Duel Scotty was already such a problem. So Smite's most difficult goddess has dropped lower than we anticipated. Dark Omen, they increased minion damage from 20 to 40 and scaling all the way up to 160 from 80. Holy shit, they just doubled it at every single step of the way. That's cool because Morgan sucks in Duel, so maybe that'll be something. She's still gonna pretty much suck in Duel, I'd say, but you know, at least that's something. She'll have a little bit better clear, and then, you know, actually be hitting her in the late game. Her the clear will actually be helping out quite a bit, because you actually do have quite a hard time clearing with her even in the late, whereas most mages you scale to a point where it's like, okay, I'm Vulcan, so I can just backfire the wave at level 17 and know that I full cleared it, and she still like just taps them, and you like end up having to use 2 abilities on a wave while you're at level 17, and it feels a little silly. So here's the crazy shit though. Vulcan, who was already in a great place in Duel, gets an insane change right now. So Backfire now goes through walls, which is really fucking big for him. You know, not only like if you have somebody that's, you know, that's running away from you and gets past you through the wall, now you can backfire them through it. Now you can hit them with the meatball through the wall, which you know, we're always able to do, but you can combo it through walls with backfire. I can't emphasize enough how strong that is for him. So as long as you have, you know, either you saw exactly where they were headed behind the wall, or you have vision with a ward, or minions happen to be there, now you can set up for that kind of combo through a wall as a finisher on people, and that's fucking huge. Or just for giant poke. You can steal buffs. Yeah, exactly. You can steal buffs with it as well. Yeah, it's big. So this ability going through walls is huge for him. And already that would be like, oh shit, watch out, Vulcan's fucking crazy. No. The Inferno Cannon, oh god, now deals damage as if the target had 25% less magical protections. So the Inferno Cannon now ignores 25% of the opponent's magical protections. So if you're beefing up against Vulcan, you're like, yeah, I can take him now. I can take a couple of those cannon shots while I'm 1v1ing him. I'm going all in on this Vulcan, take him out. The game doesn't care. You are going to get hit by this thing as if you had 25% less magical protections. So just straight up ignoring them for 25%. He's going to be monstrous. He's going to be incredibly hard to deal with, especially for melees that already had a very hard time with him. So he can go up from being a high tier to a near top tier with these changes. I wouldn't say, you know, he'll be top itself, but near, as in like maybe a higher high tier god. So pretty fucking crazy. Yeah, we'll see quite a change for Vulcan here. You know, mostly with this Inferno Cannon change, making the cannon shots do so much more damage to you, and yeah, you're gonna just have a hard time because you can't answer for it. There's just, you know, building defense is no longer gonna be the answer to just stopping this straight up. You're just gonna have to destroy the cannon by all means necessary. You just can't leave that thing unattended now, and to go all in for that, you know, final kill with, say, fucking Bacchus. Alright, Bacchus is not a good example because he's broken, but, you know, maybe you're playing a Wheelix, and you're like, okay, I got this. Feather Step, hit him, and I can kill him before that thing does much to me. But yeah, now it's going to be doing quite a bit. So yeah, look out for Vulcan. God's going to be really strong. Maybe Morgan will do a little bit more. Try to still be banning Scotty, but there's really not that much room because you already have to ban fucking Freya, you gotta ban Baka, you gotta ban Hebo, all that shit. Scotty's been getting through a lot for me lately, and it's been a problem because she's so broken. Nice that the short guys now have equal opportunities. Achilles a little bit better. And yeah, we'll see if Gladiator Shield can be built a little bit more. I would love to see it because, you know, our items are so stale right now. Very much looking forward to this god. Would love to see how she does in Duel. I really hope that she's in a balanced state of being like a lower high tier god or something, or, you know, just it would be cool. So love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. It was actually really fun to do this again, and I'm looking forward to covering patch notes from a Duel perspective in general again, as well as hopefully getting into doing tier lists and stuff like that. It takes a lot of energy to do that kind of stuff, and now I haven't really, you know, had as much of it, especially a lot of stuff's been going on with my dad that his health is just not well. He's actually like detoxing from some alcoholism and medication usage, and just, yeah, things have been incredibly terrible in my personal life, but I've been doing a lot better mentally, and, you know, so much of that is thanks to you guys and the support you give me, so I appreciate it so much. I love you, and thanks so much for watching. All right,